This is Top Accurate Global News Update. I am Abirun Mohammed. Washington's claim that a Russian fighter jet collided with a US surveillance drone near Crimea, causing it to crash, is both a rare military incident between the two superpowers and a serious escalation in already tense relations since Moscow's invasion of Ukraine last year. US and Russian officials have given conflicting accounts of what occurred on Tuesday over the Black Sea between the MQ-9 Reaper drone, valued at more than $30 million and packed with sensitive US spying technology, and two Russian Su-27 fighter jets that were deployed to intercept the US aircraft. The Pentagon said two Russian Su-27 aircraft intercepted the drone and proceeded to dump fuel on the MQ-9 Reaper model as it conducted routine surveillance over the Black Sea in international airspace. US officials said the Russian jet flew around and in front of the drone several times for 30 to 40 minutes, and then one of the Su-27 fighters, in quote, struck the propeller of the drone, causing US forces to have to bring the MQ-9 down in international waters. A Pentagon spokesman said the collision likely damaged the Russian fighter jet, though the Su-27 did land. It is not clear if the collision was an accident or intentional on the part of the Russian pilots, but both sides align in reporting that Russian aircraft had intercepted the drone. RAF and German fighter jets have intercepted a Russian aircraft near Estonian airspace in the first joint operation of its kind. The two Typhoons were scrambled on Tuesday to intercept an Il-78 Midas refueling plane flying between St. Petersburg and Kaliningrad. The plane had failed to communicate with air traffic control in Estonia. The British and German air forces are currently conducting planned joint NATO air policing in the region. The interception itself was routine, but it is the first time such an operation has been carried out together by the two countries. The incident comes amid heightened tensions between NATO and Russia over the Russian invasion of Ukraine, although there is no evidence of any link with Tuesday's reported collision between a Russian fighter jet and a US drone over the Black Sea. After escorting the Midas, the two jets were redirected to intercept an AN-148 airliner that was also passing close to Estonian airspace. Russian President Vladimir Putin has dismissed as, in quote, sheer nonsense allegations that Ukrainians could be behind the explosions that crippled the Nord Stream gas pipelines, suggesting the United States may have been responsible. The Russian leader insisted on Tuesday the US had a motive to carry out the attack in the Baltic Sea last year, saying it wanted to halt supplies of cheap Russian natural gas to Europe and provide the continent with more expensive liquefied natural gas. Putin spoke after the New York Times, the Washington Post, and German media published stories last week citing unidentified American and other officials as saying there was evidence Ukraine, or at least pro-Ukraine groups, may have been responsible for the blast. The Ukrainian government denied involvement. Germany's Die Zeit newspaper and German public broadcasters ARD and SWR reported that investigators believe 5 men and a woman used a yacht hired by a Ukrainian-owned company in Poland to carry out the attack. German federal prosecutors confirmed a boat was searched in January but have not confirmed the reported findings. The Kremlin last week described the claims about Ukrainian involvement in the explosions as part of a cover-up by the West. Putin said the blasts were carried out on a state level and dismissed as complete nonsense suggestions an autonomous pro-Ukraine group was responsible. Honduras President Xiomara Castro has said she wants her country to open official diplomatic ties with China in a move that would end its official relationship with the self-ruled island of Taiwan. Castro, who said during her election campaign in 2021 that she would switch ties to Beijing before later backtracking, wrote on Twitter on Tuesday night that she had instructed her foreign minister to begin the process of recognizing the People's Republic of China. The move was, in quote, a sign of my determination to comply with the government plan and expand borders freely, she wrote. Taiwan's foreign minister said it had expressed serious concern to the Honduran government and urged it to consider its decision carefully and not fall into China's trap. While Xiomara did not mention Taiwan in her tweet, China does not allow countries to maintain formal relations with Taipei if they recognize Beijing. Argentina's inflation rate has soared past 100% for the first time since the end of hyperinflation in the early 90s. Inflation hit 102.5% in February, the country's statistics agency said, meaning the price of many consumer goods has more than doubled since 2022. Argentina has been in economic difficulty for years, and most of the population now live in poverty. Its government has been trying to stem price rises by capping the prices of food and other products, but the food and drink sectors saw the most dramatic increase recently, with prices growing by 9.8% in February compared to January. Argentina media said that this increase could partly be due to a sharp hike in the price of meat, which rose by almost 20% in the space of a month. Adverse weather conditions, a prolonged heat wave, and a drought seriously impacted livestock and crops, said local news outlet Ambito. That is the size of top accurate global news updates. You can follow us on our social media platforms as displayed on your screen. Happy midweek.